My name is Baisat. I'm 20 years old and I'm Nigerian Irish, or Irish Nigerian, as we call it. Growing up in Ireland, secondary school was a big wake-up call in terms of Islamophobia and racism and discrimination. When I started secondary school, I, instantly started to be aware of race, and I think that's when I wouldn't say accepted my faith, but more kind of embraced the identity of, being Muslim, being black. There's definitely microaggressions from other students, the sly comments and it's the black people again, they're so loud, and, and even from teachers, gang and a group of black people, no matter who they are, is automatically a gang, and you're always suspicious of the black person just because, they're black. Racism was definitely a huge kind of thing that I won't say shocked at, but I had to start getting used to. I've always kind of said this thing where I feel like I'm too busy being black to be Muslim for people to notice that, hi, I'm Muslim too, And I think in secondary school that was definitely the case, I didn't start off with a hijab. I started off with, braids. And I remember coming in and I had the hijab and, I'm missing your hair, or yeah, I prefer you with your braids and stuff like that. And it's just okay, but I never asked, and also the fact where I was finally accepting my faith, and it kind of hurt for people to kind of say things like that. I remember being at work and just working away at the tills, and a woman comes up and she doesn't really say anything to me. She's not really hi, how are you, casual talk. I'm trying to explain to her, if she would like a refund or she would like to buy something, and she's kind of I don't understand your English. And I was kind of taken aback, okay, that's the first time I've gotten that, Personally, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with the way I speak or, my English, She's continuously saying, I can't understand your English. Do you have a manager? I could sense that she said it to hurt me. One of my coworkers comes up to me a few minutes later and she was like, did you hear what she said? So the lady had gone off to her and she's like, how do you work with her? She can't hear customers because she has a rag around her ears and stuff like that. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to start the waterworks again, Everyone's like, it's fine, brush it off. And for me, it was a lot to kind of take in, the fact that, she had just said that comment about my English, and then, she had referred to my scarf and as a rag, which is, to me, was shocking,